Hi students, welcome to Data Structures classes. This is second BSc Computer Science 4th semester paper, Unit 1. This is Lakshman, lecturer in Computer Science from BRR and GK Chambers Degree College, Palakollu. Today I would like to discuss about the concepts of data structures. In the previous semesters, we are already know about C and Java concepts. Data structures can be implemented either C language or Java language. Now we are using Java. Data structures through Java can be discussed now. First, we have to know what is meant by data. So data is nothing but it is a collection of raw facts and figures. So data are the set of values or a single value. So it is a value or set of value. A data item refers to a single unit of values. Data items are divided into sub items. So those sub items are not called as elementary items. So for example, ID of a student. For example, ID. Every student has only one ID. For example, I want to store 101. So this is a single data item. So if you want to store the address, so address of a student can be divided into door number, street, pin code, mandal, like that. So those type of data we called as group data items. So single value, group of value. So for example, the student name may be divided into three sub items: first name, middle name and the last name. But the ID of the student would normally be treated as a single item because ID can take only single value, but address can take multiple values. That is a group of values. Or name of the student can take a group of values. So for example, ID, age, gender, first, middle name, last, street, area are elementary data items because every student has only one ID or one roll number. Age of a student, every student has only one age. Gender, either it is male gender or female gender. So the first name, middle name and the last name. So area are elementary data items where name, address are the group data items because name can be divided into first name, middle name and the last name. Address can be divided into multiple items, that is door number, street, village, pin code, etc. Those type of data we call that as grouped data items. So next one, data type. So already we know what is the meaning of data type. So data types can be discussed in C and also in Java. What is the meaning of data type? What type of data we are stored in memory, we call it as data type. If you want to store the integer type of data, we call it as int data type. If you want to store the float type of data, we call it as float data type. If you want to store the characters, we treat it as a char data types. So the type of classification of data. So it is a classification of data which can store a specific data of information. Data types are mainly used in computer programming, in which variables are created to store data. Each variable is assigned to a data type that determines what type of data the variable may contain. Every variable in Java has a data type, every variable. For example, if you want to create a variable int a, so this is a variable, of type integer. So this variable can store, for example, I want to assign the value 10 to this variable a. So the variable a, this is a variable, so it contains some memory location. This value is stored in a. Which type of value it stores? It stores the integer type of value. Okay, so every variable has a data type. For example, if you are using float data type, what type of data it is stored? So for example, I want to store 10.5. So it stores the 10.5. Okay, so it stores the 10.5. So float data type, integer data type. So data types specify the size and the type of value that can be stored. So for example, integer take how many bytes? So based upon the compiler, it can takes 2 bytes or 4 bytes. Okay, so and type of a variable. So if you take the integer type, it stores the integer type. It takes the float type, it takes the floating point type. If you want to create character type, so char, so it takes a character. It takes the character, for example G. So the G is the character. Okay, so it takes the size and takes the value. If you want to take the integer, it takes the integer value. If you take the float point, it takes the floating point value. If you take characters, it takes the character values. Okay, like that the data can be stored in memory, that is called data type. Okay, that is called the data type. The next one, data structure. So what is the meaning of data structure? So data structure is nothing but to create the particular format. For example, array. So in arrays, the data is stored in linear format. Already you know. For example, if you want to create int a of 5, int a of 5. So what happens? Int a of 5, what happens? It contains 5 memory locations. It contains 5 memory locations from 0 to n minus 1, that is 4. The size of the array is 5, 0 to 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the one particular format to store the data. Okay, so this is the sequential storing of data. That is, the data is stored in a particular format so that the data is popularly arranged. So we can arrange the data in a proper format. If you are not arranged in a proper format, the data can be either linear or non-linear data structures. So this is arrangement of data in a particular structure is known as the data structure. So data structure is nothing but the data is arranged in a particular format. We call it as data structure. The data need to be stored in a particular format, not only for the particular storage. Definitely we are storing the data in a particular format, not only for the proper storage but mostly for quick and easily retrieval. So why you use particular format? For retrieving the data very quickly and fast. The data structure is a method of arranging and storing of data which would allow efficient data retrieval and usage. So data structure is nothing but organization of data in a particular format. We call it as data structure. So data structure is a collection of data elements. So data structure, it contains a collection of elements. This is one element, this is one element, so this is one element. We called it as different types of elements. So and the accessing functions are defined to store and retrieve the individual data elements. So it is a collection of data items organized in a specific manner, and accessing functions are defined to store and retrieve the individual data elements. For example, so this is an array. How can we access the first element? By using the index value. So a of 0. How can we access the third element? So by using the index element a of 2. Like that we can retrieve the elements, so with the help of index numbers in arrays. Like that we can access the data, we can retrieve the individual data elements in data structures. So we can access the entire data or the individual elements. So these can be happened with the help of proper arrangement of data using data structures. So the data structure can be classified into following types. So data structures can be classified into two types. One is a primitive data structure and another is non-primitive data structure. Primitive means integer, float, character, boolean data types. So these are the fundamental data types or primitive data types. Non-primitive data types are linear data structure. It can be again classified into two types. One is linear data structure and the non-linear data structure. So linear means the data is arranged in a sequential manner. We called it as linear data structure. The data is not arranged in a sequential order. That is called the non-linear data structure. The linear data structures are arrays, linked lists, stack and queue. Arrays, linked list, stack and queue. Non-linear data structures are trees and graphs are the non-linear data structures. So classification of data structures. So how many ways to classify the data structures? One is the primitive data structure and another one is the non-primitive data structure. Primitive data structure. What is the meaning of primitive data structure? These are defined with various languages. These data structures are also called as data types in programming languages. Primitive data types are fundamental data types. We called it as programming data types. Primitive data structures are only single values. It can take only single values. They have not a special capabilities. These are directly operated by machine level instructions. So for example, integer, float, character, boolean. So integer, int data type, float data types, character data types, boolean, it takes either true or false. So it takes only a single type of data, that is called primitive data structure. Integer. So what is the integer type? It can hold whole numbers. It can take whole numbers. The size of the value that can be stored depend upon the integer data type. Java does not support the concept of unsigned values. Java supports four type of integers. They are byte, short, int and long. So byte takes 1 byte of memory, short takes 2 bytes, integer take 4 bytes, long can takes 8 bytes. So the default values of byte is 0, short can take 0 value, integer take 0 value, long can take OL value. So the initial values are minus 2 power 7 to 2 power 7 minus 1. Okay, these are the minimum and maximum values of the integer. Okay, so integer take minus 2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1, the range of integer in Java. Okay, next one, float. So the float takes floating point of values, fractional part. It holds the number containing the fractional part. These are two kinds of floating points stored in Java. Floating point numbers are treated as a double precision, that is 64-bit quantities. To force them to be a single precision, that is 32-bit mode, we must append FR to be a number. So double precision types are used when we need greater precision in storage of floating point number. All mathematical functions such as sine, cos and square root returns double type of values. So it can take the double precision also, single precision and also double precision values. Okay, so float can take 4 bytes, double can take 8 bytes. These are the range of values, minimum value and the maximum value. So boolean, so the boolean can take either true or false values. Okay, so it is used when we want to test a particular condition during the execution of the program. These are only two values, either it can take true value or false value. It is denoted by the keyword boolean. So boolean is the keyword. So for example, boolean A, So this A can take either true value or false value. So use only one bit of storage. So it can take only one bit, either 0 or 1. That is called the boolean. So 1 indicates true, 0 indicates false. Okay, that is called the boolean. Okay. Next one, non-linear data structures. So what is the non-linear data structures? Non primitive data structures. The non-primitive data structures can be constructed with the help of primitive data structures. The non-primitive data structures are used to store the group of values. It can take the group of values. So for example, primitive data types can store only a single value. So int can take only single value. Float can store single value. Character can take only single value. Boolean, either it is true value or false value. It can store only single value, that is called the non-primitive data structure. If you want to store multiple values or group of values, we can take non-primitive data structure. These data structures are divided into two types. One is the linear data structure and another one is the non-linear data structure. So linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Linear means sequential arrangement of data. We call it as a linear data structure. For example, arrays, linked list, stack and queue. So if the data structure is organizing the data elements in a sequential order. Sequential means this is the sequential order. This is the sequential order. So this is the linear data structure where data elements are attached one after the another. So here I am storing 1, here I am storing 2, I am storing 3, I am storing 4, I am storing 5. So side by side I am storing different types of elements. So we called it as linear data structure. And very easy to implement since the memory of the computer is also organized in a linear fashion. So the memory also stored in a linear manner. So that's why you are implementing very easy and we can store very easy. So arrays, linked list, stacks and queues are the linear data structures. So what is the meaning of array? So already you know what is the meaning of array. Array is a similar type of value. It contains a collection of similar type of value. So if you want to create a int a of 5, it stores the 5 values from 0 to 4 of integer values. So similar type of values it can store. So array is a container objects. Static structure becomes the size of the array must be specified at the time of declaration. So array can be divided into two types here. One is the static array and the dynamic array. Static array means it is a fixed size of array. So at the time of declaration the size can be mentioned, whereas dynamic array means we cannot declare the size at the time of declaration. So the memory is allocated at the time of execution. So that is the dynamic array. So static array means the data, the size is declared in the declaration section and the declaration time at the execution time. The dynamic array can be, the memory can be allocated at the time of execution. An array can be either primitive or reference type. It gets memory in a heap area. Index of the array stores from 0 to size minus 1. Already know the index from starts 0 to n minus 1. So the next one is stack. Very important. So stack. What is the meaning of a stack? So it is a linear data structure. So this is an array. Suppose this is an array. So we have to insert the elements. We have to insert the elements. We have to delete the elements. There are two types of operations here. One is the push operation, another one is the pop operation. Push means we are inserting the elements. For example, if you insert the elements, the first element is stored in this area, first location. The second value is stored in this location. The third value is stored in this location. So one by one location the data is stored. So after inserting all the elements, which element is picked first, which element is deleted first, the last inserted element is deleted first, not the bottom element. It deletes the last inserted element. That's why it is called as last in first out. Okay, so a stack is a collection of items in which new elements may be inserted and items may be deleted at only one end. This is one end, this is one position. We can insert the data, we can delete the element only one end. We called it as a top. This is the top element, top position. Okay, so since the last inserted into a stack is the first element to be removed, so the last inserted element can be removed first, not the bottom element. Okay, so the stack is known as the last in first order. The principle of the stack is last in first order. The last inserted element is deleted first. Okay, there are two operations, push operation and pop operation. Push means we can insert the data, pop means we can delete the data. That is the two terminology used in stack. And the next one, queue. So already you know, if you are moving in a queue, so the first person can be moved first. Okay, that is the principle of queue. That is first in first out. The first person can be moved to first. That is first in first out. The queue is a collection of items in which new items can be inserted at one end and which the item can be deleted at the other end. So here this is the front and this is the rear. Front means, for example, I want to insert an element. The first element is 12. So this is the first element. And the next element is 15. And the next element is 9. And the next element is 5. And the next element is 19. And the next element is 3. So which element is deleted first? The first element is deleted. So the first person is go out. So that is called front. Front person can be removed. And the rear person can be added. So this is the one operation, that is the DQ. This is the NQ. Okay, front and the rear positions. So queue supports the principle first in first out. The first person can be moved first. So that's why this is called first in first out principle. That is called queue. Okay, linked list. So what is the meaning of linked list? So in linked list, it is a collection of elements known as nodes. So this is one node. This is one node. So every node connected with the other node. Every node connected with the other node. So here the node can be divided into two parts. One is data part and the next part or addressed part. So data next. So the first node address is stored in head section. Okay, so linked list is a collection of elements known as nodes. This is called node, which contains two fields of information. One contains the data, it contains the data item, and the other contains the links or address of the successor list elements. So this is the next part or addressed part. So this next part contains the next node address. For example, so this address is 100. For example, this address is 100. This is 102, 104. So in this next we are storing 102 because the next node address is 102. First node address is 100. The 100 is stored in head node. Okay, so this next contains the address 104 4 because the next node address is 104. And the last node, there is no another node here. So the last node address is null pointer. So this is called linked list. Linked list, that means we can link one node to another node with the help of pointers here. So non-linear data structures. So linear data structures already discussed here. That means arrays, linked list, stack and queue are the linear data structures. Another one is the non-linear data structure. Non-linear data structures can be constructed as a collection of randomly distributed set of data items joined together by using special pointer. In non-linear data structure, the relationship of adjacency is not maintained between the data items. That means in the previous section, so the data is stored in linear manner. Here the data is not stored in a linear manner. If the data structure is organized in the data in a random order, not in sequential order, we called it as non-linear data structure. Non-linear data structures are trees, graphs and sets. So what is the meaning of a tree? So tree, it is a tree. So tree contains the root element. So these are called the branches or sub trees or sub elements. So this is a root element. So this is the child of this root element. So these three are the child of this root element. So these two are the child of this root element. So the arrangement of data in a tree-like structure, we call it as trees. So trees are a non-linear data structure that can be represented in a hierarchical manner. What is the meaning of hierarchical manner? Tree-like representation, we call it as a hierarchical manner. A tree is a finite set of one or more nodes such that there is specially designed nodes called root and the remaining nodes are partitioned into disjoint sets T1, T2 and so on. So this is the root T. All these are called the children of the root element tree, which each of the sets of the tree T1, T2 and so on, Tn are called as subtrees of the root. So these are the subtrees of the root A. The node of the top of the tree is called the root. There is only one in the tree. So the root element is only one. There must be one or more one path from the root to any other nodes. So in a tree only one main root, it can contain many number of subroots are there. Okay, so the arrangement of data in a random order, we called it as a non-linear data structure. That is one of the non-linear data structure is the tree. And another one is the graph. So we can arrange the graph. Okay, so here I am taking a different different graphs are there. So for example, so this is the graph. So this is the graph. So for example, A, B, C, D are the three vertices of the graph. That means we can arrange the direction from A to B, B to C, C to D. Okay, so we can move the different directions. We called it as a graph. The graph is a collection of nodes called as vertices. So A, B, C, D are the vertices here. Okay, from A to B we connected by a line. From B to C we can connected by a line. C to D we can connected by a line. These lines are, we called it as edges. Okay, edges. So when the edges of a graph has a direction, so edges of the graph has a direction. From if you move the path from A to B, it has a direction from A to B. From B to C it can move into B to C. C to D it can move to C to D. Okay, so A, B, C, D are the set of edges from A to B, A to C, B to D or C to D. When the edge in the graph without direction, we call it as an undirected graph. If there is no direction, we call it as undirected graph. If it has a direction, that is called the directed graph. The set of vertices here A, B, C, D and set of the edges are, these are the edges. The corresponding edges are A to B, B to A, B to D or D to B, D to C, C to D. C to A to C. All these are the different edges of the graph. Okay, so the arrangement of data with the help of vertices and edges, we call it as the graph. I hope you are understanding this concept, data structure and types of data structures. Thank you.